was following him. He ends up following Old Guy to his home and stakes it out for an hour. Arthur does this for a couple of weeks, following him home, learning about this guy as quick as possible. Even on days off, he drove over to where he lived and followed him to both the restaurant and to the Old Guy's company. Arthur had gotten a rough idea of this guy's work and sleep schedule, so it was time to enact his revenge. Going by the information he acquired about the guy's activities and the neighborhood he lived in, Arthur figured out that this guy lived well enough to survive, but had no means of backup if something were to happen. Arthur had a 3-part plan for him. First act. In the dead of night, Arthur went to the Old Guy's house. He slashed one of the tires. The Old Guy drove a Jeep, so Arthur opened the spare tire compartment and poked a small hole in it. The Old Guy woke up the following morning to find his tire flat. According to Arthur, the old man was on the phone freaking out because he was going to be running late for work and really didn't have the money to get a new tire. Not only that, to Arthur's surprise, the Old Guy didn't know how to change a tire. The Old Guy spent nearly 2 hours in the hot Texas morning heat on the phone with someone on how to put the spare tire on. This is important for later in this act. At this point, Arthur is foaming at the mouth with excitement. The Old Guy drove on the spare to work only to find out that afternoon that the spare went flat. Even more frustrated, the old man drives the car to a nearby auto shop to get both tires serviced. Later that night, this time Arthur slashed 3 out of 4 of his tires. Remember when Old Guy was on the phone getting instructions on how to get his tire fixed? Well, before that, he had called his car insurance company to get someone to come out and fix his tire. He was very loud, and the gist of the conversation was that the insurance company wouldn't come out and fix his tire and couldn't get them insured because all 4 tires weren't blown out. They said it would be easier and least expensive to just change the tire himself and get another. So later that night, Arthur slashed the other 3 tires, save for the new one. Arthur wasn't there that following morning, but he knew that the Old Guy surely had a meltdown. That, and he didn't show up to the restaurant for a month. Second act. Piggybacking on the first act, Arthur would regularly check on Old Guy's car. When all the tires were replaced, Arthur went to the Old Guy's house late at night and poured 1.5 gallons of sugar and bleach into the gas tank. His car had one of those manual gas covers instead of the modern button inside the car, so no one was none the wiser. In the morning, during Arthur's stakeouts, the old man started up his car and left for work, only to get halfway there before the car stopped working. So Old Guy had to get his car towed back to his house. The final act. Arthur got the Old Guy's name from the phone conversation and searched him on Facebook. He downloaded a couple of good pictures of him and created a few flyers. Due to the Old Guy's car being unusable, he wasn't able to come into the restaurant to do his usual crap, pun intended. Arthur printed the flyers out and posted them all over the restaurant. The flyers had a picture of the guy, his name, and described what he did in bathrooms for the past few months. A few days later, the Old Guy comes in with a friend. The friend goes ahead and orders while the Old Guy runs to the bathroom. One of the coworkers spotted him and notifies everyone there, including the friend. Old Guy starts to do his thing in the stall until he sees the flyer with his face on it. He storms out of the bathroom, flyer in hand, angrily demanding for the person responsible to step up to him. Arthur steps up in his uniform and claims responsibility. The Old Guy begins to threaten to sue for slander and emotional damages and other offenses, to which Arthur simply says, with an equally crap-eating grin, "Look, I don't care. I just want to ruin some poor effer's day." Old Guy's soul momentarily leaves his body as he realizes that the same guy he confessed his crime 2 weeks ago was one of the employees. The manager arrives and bans the Old Guy from the restaurant. Old Guy threatens to ram his car into the windows, to which Arthur says, "Is your car a unicycle? Better check your tires, you poor effer." Old Guy then realizes that Arthur was behind the attacks. Banned from the restaurant, no hard evidence of Arthur's vandalism, and extreme embarrassment, Old Guy decides to bow out. Haven't seen or heard from him since. Unfortunately, fast forward a month and 2 nights ago, Arthur got arrested from fighting an off-duty officer at a convenience store. Was anybody else expecting Arthur just to rub some crap all over this guy's house? Maybe all over his car as well? I wasn't expecting him to go anywhere near as far as he did. Also, at the end where we see that Arthur got arrested, it actually doesn't surprise me, because if he's willing to do that much in retaliation to this guy, he might just not make the best decisions. Do me a quick favor, have a look down below the video. If that subscribe button's still red, it means you're not actually subscribed to the KCC channel. Please hit that subscribe button for more daily Reddit stories. Our next story today comes to us from Peach Jelly Soda. No proof, no problem. Don't mess with woman's best friend. Let's jump right in. No names because what I did was pretty illegal. I manage a bar, and one day I came in to see the place totally ransacked. Thankfully, but weirdly, nothing was stolen, which meant it was someone with a personal vendetta. I had recently fired an employee who I suspected had done it. We hadn't been able to get his keys back yet, so he had a way to get in and knew the alarm codes since he would open the bar sometimes. I went to my office and saw that the lock on the door had been smashed in, and the CCTV footage was deleted. The only thing that was missing was a clay mold of my dog's paw print I had taken right before she passed away. This dog was my first pet and was my best friend. I always talked about her and had brought her into the bar a couple of times on my days off. We let pets on the patio, so all the employees knew how much she meant to me. I kept the mold on my desk to always have her with me. I was sure it was him. He hadn't taken his firing so well, but with no absolute proof, I couldn't just outright accuse him. The bar is a bikini bar, and the dude was a total creep. On multiple occasions, he had made disgusting comments to the girls. The cherry on top was, he came in drunk and groped the girl working. Men who came in could be gross, but the things he would say and did were on another level altogether. When I called all the employees to ask where they had been, he totally outed himself before I could even ask him. He said, "I was home with my wife on Saturday night." I just smiled into the phone and said, "I never said it happened on Saturday." He quickly hung up. Gotcha, B. The police couldn't do crap though with the camera footage deleted. All I had was him knowing it happened on a Saturday. Plus, the damage wasn't too bad, just a lot of smashed plates and the lock on the door. So there wouldn't be much to sue him for if I did get proof. So I decided to get even and get my dog's paw print back. He only deleted the night of the break-in, not the rest of the footage, so I combed through hours of footage to find the time he had slapped the girl's butt and grabbed at her chest. But I found something even better. On the camera pointing to the back alley, he was having relations with some chick, probably a prostitute, definitely not his wife, up against his car. This dude was an idiot. He even smiled and waved at the camera. I copied the footage to a USB stick and put it in an envelope. I knew he had another job, so I waited there until he showed up and went inside. I stuck the envelope under his windshield wiper with a note. It read, "Give back what you stole, or this will start popping up everywhere you go." It didn't take long for him to text me. I played dumb and acted like I knew nothing about it, but added, "Sounds like whatever you took was important to the person." He told me to F off and said he didn't have whatever I thought he took. I still played dumb. The next day, I left another USB in his mailbox. I knew his address from his W-2, and another on his windshield wiper again for good measure. I guessed he found them both because I received another string of texts asking what the F is wrong with me. I still played dumb, but told him to give back whatever the person was asking for, and it would probably stop. He said he didn't have the paw print and was going to the police. Man, this guy was dumb as a bag of rocks. I told him only I knew the paw print was taken, and now I had proof he broke in for the police. No response. I'm no lawyer, but pretty sure what I was doing was just as illegal as him breaking in, if not worse, and he would have had a good case on his hands for blackmail, but he was dumb and probably just wanted it all to go away. Safe to say the next day, one of my bartenders told me that the guy that was fired dropped off his keys and a package for me. In the package was my paw print broken in half with a letter that basically said he was sorry and he didn't mean to break it and was just pissed he got fired and to please stop leaving the video. I debated for a good while if I should send the video to his wife anyways, but I found out she was divorcing him because she had found the one in the mailbox. I honestly think this guy got what he deserved, but in the end, I think he just broke the paw print as a final F you. One thing I keep on going back to in this story though is that the alarm code wasn't changed when this guy was fired. In every single place I've worked at that